Hello from Bill Snyder Family Stadium. It's the early signing period today as Kansas State head coach Chris Klieman and assistants met with the media to talk about the signing class that Kansas State inked in on this day. From GoPowercat.com, I'm Riley Gates, and this is your signing day press pass brought to you by Robbins Motor Company. Well, Chris Klieman and his staff did, in fact, sign 15 new recruits to Kansas State University today, and it's a little bit amazing that they did that in spite of the fact that everything that's gone on over the last few weeks with Bill Snyder stepping down, there being a lot of time in between, not knowing who the head coach would be, but nonetheless, assistants like Collin, Klein, Seiler, and Taylor Braet fought through it all, got Klieman on board, and got out to see these recruits, and got 15 names on the paper today.
I mean, I was just selling the fact that we had a great AD and he's going to find the perfect fit. And obviously he did. And, you know, I kept telling kids everywhere I went, everywhere I saw, I said, you know, there's going to be changes, but at the same time, you're not going to change everything. So, you know, selling Gene was easy, and just telling them, hey, have confidence in us. Just wait for us to make this hire before you get, you know, because K-State's still going to need you. The need for you is still going to be there. We're still going to need DBs. We're still going to need running backs and those things. And, you know, these kids are loyal. A lot of kids stick to their word. I mean, it got a little shaky at times, of course, but, I mean, we just kept going and kept attacking these kids. And the staff did a good job on the way out. The guys just, you know, contacting kids too and, you know, telling them, hey, K-State's a good spot to be at. So, and Coach came in and knocked it out. I mean, we were contacting kids and we were doing everything as soon as he was. I know he was making calls all the time for me and all those things. So, I mean, it was nice having that help.
You know, it was tough. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say it was tough. But I think it speaks volumes about Kansas State, the university, the program, what Coach Snyder built here that draws kids here. And then I got to give a lot of credit to all of our coaches on staff because of all the uncertainty, nothing changed. You know, it's not just me and Collin and Taylor and Coach. I mean, it's all those coaches that we worked with that kept these guys, you know, selling the university regardless of what happens to us. You got a great place here. It's a great school. It's a great football program and a great opportunity.
You know, I think again, and we were able to sell K-State and understanding that this is a very, very special place. It's a place with unbelievable people, top to bottom. You know, and we have a very passionate fan base that, and even being one that was able to play here and compete here myself, being able to attest to that, you know, and we knew whoever it was going to be, you know, was going to be you know, the right candidate, a great candidate, and someone who could, you know, lead our program well. And it's a special place, and so we were able to sell that, and I think for the most part, I mean, I think that was the kids responded to that very well and hung in there. We didn't have too much movement even with the change.
A lot of these commitments have been on board for quite some time, but a few of them came in a little bit late, particularly Jaron Lewis, a quarterback that was initially committed to North Dakota State, flipped his decision and decided to come to K-State and sign on board with Coach Chris Klieman today. And also a guy by the name of William Jones, a secondary player out of the state of Texas that Seiler and Chris Klieman had to have on the phone for quite some time last night before convincing him to become a Wildcat and put his name on the paper.
Well, I know one thing. We lost a quarterback not long ago in the program, and it was really important for me to make sure we had enough quarterbacks, and that's the position that you need to have great depth. You need to have great competition, and when we were down another number there, I asked Collin to find the best quarterback, and Collin had continued to build relationships with both Chris and Jaron throughout the process, especially in the fall, and it fit another skill set for us and fit another need for us because I've been a part of programs where if you lose a guy at the quarterback position and you don't have a backup, it doesn't matter how good you are in other places, you're going to struggle. And so I think adding to the quarterback depth, adding to the competition is going to be really healthy. And I know that Coach Klein is excited to have more depth and more competition in the room. Well, I know that was an area of need, and that was one of the things Taylor let me know right off the bat is we need to be able to land some DBs, and we'll continue to look for defensive backs. And we were able to flip William last night. Coach Seiler and I were on the phone with him for quite a while, and his dad, and they loved their visit up here. Absolutely loved their visit, and they just hadn't met me. They hadn't been around me, and I know that's difficult. And there's a lot of trust factors involved in recruiting. It's building relationships, and that's why Blake was such a big help to me last night. him sitting there and just reiterating some of the things that I was talking to the young man and his family about, that hey, we see that this is genuine, and I know that it was important for his family to be able to watch him play, and so that probably helped in the decision process to go from out in the West Coast to play in the Midwest, and we hit it off. And there's not many defensive head coaches out there anymore, and especially somebody that has defensive background, and I think that was a big play as well for William to know that that we're going to get to know him. I'm going to get to know him really well and get a chance to work with him.
Perhaps two of the most noteworthy signings out of this class come not far from Manhattan, Kansas. That'd be Jack Stanine and Keenan Garber, two players out of Lawrence Free State in Lawrence, Kansas, where Les Miles and the Kansas Jayhawks have been working diligently to try to get these two kids to commit to the University of Kansas. However, Chris Klieman and his staff fight hard and get these two players to sign with the Wildcats, rounding out a very pretty talented class for this program.
You go back and you win where you win at. I mean, you win in Lawrence, and that's where you go take those kids out of, and they're coming here. I mean, that says a lot. And I mean, I could really go into more detail, but I probably shouldn't. So, but I'm super excited to have them, and they're great players, great kids, come from great families, and they want us to be successful, and they're Kansas kids that believe in the state, and they're going to start off, and that's a major punctuation mark of bang, we got this going. So I'm jacked for that.
You know, it is, but like Coach said, I mean, we've, you know, and this is what Coach Snyder's done for a long time, is really put a priority on in-state kids and recruiting them very hard, and you know, and then the natural fit will happen if, you know, just like anything will come from that, and it came with both of them, and it's going to be a great fit.
Well, we've had tons of coverage at GoPowercat.com today about these signees and what it means for Kansas State moving forward. So stay tuned to GoPowercat, because we're not done. We're going to keep looking at this class for Coach Chris Klieman and evaluate what K-State football will look like moving forward.